I would struggle with it. I don't know. Am I strapping it? Am I letting it hang? Wow.
That's it. We're done with the show, guys.
Let us know in the comments below. Are you strapping it or are you letting it hang?
Yo, welcome to the show where the energy's flown. It's your boy dropping heat. This is the Ozone. Step into the arena where legends are made. From the courts to the fields, watch the highlights played. Football, hoops, baseball, it's all fair game. If it's sports, we bring the fire, put respect on the name. Stats and debates, we break it all down. From the rookies to the GOATs who wear the crown. No halftime, all ground, we're setting the tone. It's prime time, baby, you're in the Ozone. Yo, it's passion, precision, the plays we dissect. From the underdogs, grinding to the Hall of Fame vets. This is more than a podcast, it's a sports throne. Let's kick it off right, welcome to the Ozone.
You have entered the Ozone with Omar and Dave.
Let's go, baby. We are here. And you guys have officially entered the Ozone. It's your boy Omar. And salute to the captain. I know there's a lot of captains in New York. Very earned. We don't throw that title around so loosely in New York. You got that captain title, it's because you earned it. It's because you were a representation of what embodies the New York culture and spirit in the fight. And that's the man that we're going to acknowledge on this show today. And that's Mr. David Wright. We're also going to talk about the Mets David Wright Day could have been a lot better. Yankees, don't get me started on y'all. And we got some heat that's coming out and have come out. I was gonna run this show. I was gonna do this show alone. I don't know. I'm thinking about flying solo, but I can't because you know why? I got the best co-host in the business, super producer Dave. Brother, it's a new week. How we feeling?
I'm feeling good. Caffeinated, ready to do some takes. Brother, what is with our baseball teams? You know, at this point, I've accepted the fact that I have become a Mets fan. And as much as people would
Whoa!
Wait.
Say that again?
I, David, have become a Mets fan. And it's come with the territory because you cover this team so much, right? Like, and you want to root for them. You want to see them win. And once again, I'm a Yankee fan. Whatever happens with the Yankees besides us playing the Mets doesn't affect us as much.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
There's no reason for me to be like that person who doesn't like the Mets just because I'm a Yankee fan. But what is up with our New York baseball teams? I don't get it. We're going to cover the Jets, by the way, this season. This upcoming football season.
Yeah, we got some Jets stuff. We got some Jets stuff on the program today.
Yeah, we're not converting me over there. I'm just putting there.
I see wore that hat. You know what? Before we started recording, I pointed out to Dave, super producer Dave, that he's wearing a Patriots hat, and I'm fully aware that obviously Dave's a Patriots fan, and that during football season we'll be seeing a lot of New England trash on this show, but I didn't expect to get this early, and now it makes sense because there are some Jets news that we'll be discussing, and you're a smart man. You see, that's why you're the best co-host in the business. But let's talk some good news first, brother.
Okay.
So let's talk to Captain David Wright. This is the amazing rundown.
The amazing rundown.
It's about the Mets, baby. Love the Mets. All right, baby. Let's go. Get a home run, baby. Love the Mets. Let's go, Mets.
All right, y'all. The amazing rundown. This is where we talk about the boys from Queens, but I don't want to talk about them just yet. I want to talk about the man that just got his jersey retired this past Saturday and also entered the Mets Hall of Fame. That is the captain, number 5, David Wright. David Wright, I'll just say this, brother, before we get into, what he's done for the Mets and that sort of stuff, right? During that era of David Wright and when him coming up, with the Mets, he was the only player. I think Francisco Lindor is that now for me, but David Wright is the only Mets player that I always said, man, I wish he was on the Yankees. Man, I wish. Even when we had A-Rod, and A-Rod has won multiple MVPs, But I'm like, man, if there's any, like, you look at certain guys and you go, and I'm Mets fans. This is not to get y'all upset or anything. I mean, I'm just speaking as a Yankee fan. You look at certain guys and you go, man, they would be perfect in the Yankee pinstripes. They would just be a perfect Yankee. And I always thought of David Wright that way. But, you know, you look at his career and, you know, David Wright is somebody that Met fans, you know, he's there. You know, for this generation, our generation, he's a lot of Mets fans, like how we look up to Derek Jeter. You know what I mean? You look at David Wright, 7-time All-Star, 2-time Gold Glover, 2-time Silver Slugger. He leads the franchise in multiple offensive categories, hits, RBIs, runs scored. You know, shout outs to Steve Cohen. I know the Wilpons have been they've been very reluctant in retiring jerseys, and since Steve Cohen has led the ship, guys are finally getting their flowers for the Mets. I know Darryl, Doc got their jersey retired, and David Wright got his jersey, and it's well deserved, brother.
Yeah, I mean, David Wright's one of those guys that you do look like, and you just have to respect. You know how some people are just like, I tip my hat to Jeter or whatever. Well, that's the same thing we feel about David Wright. You just have to, like, respect what he's done. 14 years is nothing to, like, snuff at it when you think about, like, how long and what he's been through with that Mets team. He's been there through some really tough years, and then he's been there through the injuries. And, you know, had it not been for, and let's just clarify what was it that injuries he dealt with. He dealt with spinal stenosis diagnosis. So he's been dealing with some stuff. And some people say that, you know, he maybe could have been a Hall of Famer had he not had this. And, you know, I think this is good on the Mets to definitely, like, you know, at least draw spotlight to someone who just brought great stuff to the Mets franchise, especially during those down years. So you have to tip your hat to him. You know, he's also a mentor to other players that are currently playing right now. The guy is just somebody that you have to respect, and, you know, tip my hat once again, David Wright.
I'll say this. You know, us at the Ozone, and this is why it's important, guys. Check us out. Follow us on, you know, on all our social media pages. We came up with our top 5 David Wright moments, and it got a good reaction, brother. But one particular gentleman commented. And he had said something like along the lines of like, he's a bench player. So I wrote back and I go, I think that's a bit harsh. Yankees fan. He goes, no, I'm just a realist or something like that. You're not a realist, you're a jackass. And if this particular person is watching, you know, and you don't like what I just called you, then, oh, well, you can stop following us. Because at the end of the day, whether you're a fan of whomever, brother, you know, I give you crap, New England, whatever. At the end of the day, as sports fans, you also have to acknowledge and respect those that are nice in the game. And it's just as simple as that. And David Wright was a great baseball player, without a doubt. 7-time All-Star. Come on. And his career was you know, cut short because of the spinal stenosis. And this is why number 1 and number 1 and 2, obviously we came up with the top 5. Number 5 being David Wright's first home run. Number 4 was actually him coming back when he was battling with spinal stenosis. His first at bat back in Philadelphia, hits the home run. I think at number 3 we put his farewell, which I was in the building. I was in the building for David Wright's final game in Citi Field. And then number 2 was his walk-off against Mariano, which he said was the moment where he felt like he really made it in the big leagues. And then obviously number 1 is, everybody knows, as Met fans know, his Game 3 home run in the 2015 World Series. David Wright deserves his flowers. I'm happy that he was able to get it. However, there was a little bit of rain in the parade. Obviously, there was actual literally rain during the ceremony, but the Mets had a game to be played. Brother, we spoke about this last week, that the Reds are a feisty team. And right now, they're giving the Mets fits. Mets started off, I don't think you can start off the second half of the season any better if you're the Mets. You're coming off, Citi Field is rocking. Juan Soto, bam, home run. You get to a quick 2-0 lead, and then all of a sudden, the hat drops, and then you're down 8-2, and you end up losing. I think the Mets lost 8-4, I believe it was, on Friday.
I'll recap.
Yeah, and then you get David Wright there on Saturday, and they get a couple runs in, they set the tone, but then Clay Holmes 8-4, right? Mm-hmm. And we spoke about this. Clay Holmes, I think, is getting a little fatigued. He's pushing innings. He's pushing into territory that he hasn't been in his career. And I think that's why it's so paramount that the Mets have to address the starting pitching. I think if it's any position that they need to address at the deadline, it's starting pitching, because right now you can just see that it's wearing thin. I know Sean Manaea came back. Sean Manaea has looked very good in his return. Kodai Singer's been the guy, but it's just they got to get more arms, brother.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're 4 for 6 in their last 10. We definitely want to see what they do at the deadline, because they always propose this question: are they buyers or sellers? We already know the answer. They're buyers. We know that they want to make a push for the playoffs. So what we want to see is, what do they go for? They're in the same running for what, as far as what they need. I think them and Yankees are exactly in the same category.
Yeah, them and the Yankees are going to be playing. They're going to be competing for the same
right.
guys.
So we're definitely going to be keeping an eye on what is it that they do to address these needs, because at the end of the day, the Mets should be a lot better as far as their record, as far as their playing. I understand injuries happen. I understand that during baseball it's 162 games. I understand that you're not always going to be hot, but things have to change, and the deadline is right around the corner on the 31st. So we need to see something from these Mets, not only just what they end up doing with their acquisitions or transactions, but we also need to see, what do you guys do to just play better? Because at the end of the day, yes, we did think the Reds were going to be a feisty team, but I didn't think we'd lose 2 out of 3 so far. At the time of this recording, they haven't played their third game, but it's not looking great. So we definitely want to see them turn it around.
You know what? You're growing, brother. You are growing. This show has got. You say we. You notice that?
Oh yeah, I'm getting a Mets jersey next week.
Oh, nice. Who you getting? Francisco Lindor, Juan Soto?
We'll see. Lindor, Puerto Rico. Let's represent.
Yo, I wish I could say the nickname that Wells has for Pete Alonso. It's funny. Every time Pete Alonso does well, he texts a particular name. Let's just put it like this. It's an eggplant name.
It's not safe for work.
Alonso. It's not, Well, if you're with the HR person, like the guy from the Coldplay concert, then you can get away with it. The Mets are a game and a half, brother. So within all of this, that they've lost 3 straight, they're only a game and a half. So things could get up, but they got to change. They got to change what they got going on. Let's get into the upcoming schedule for the Mets. Brother, they got the Angels. I think that's a winnable series. I will be in the building Tuesday in Citi Field. I will be at that game Tuesday, so I will be looking forward to speaking to you guys, handing out stickers. The Ozone will be definitely tapped in Citi Field on Tuesday. And then they have the Dodgers, not the Dodgers. They have the Dodgers rivals, the San Francisco Giants, West Coast trip. Oh, Jesus.
Your favorite.
Yeah, I hate it. At least it's the weekend, so I can deal with that. I don't know why that's Sunday night game. I don't know why. I'm assuming that I haven't looked deeper into the Mets schedule, but they got a Sunday night game in San Francisco. That's crazy. I know Met players can't be happy about that. Brother, I got the Mets winning 2 out of 3 against the Angels. But I got them losing 2 out of 3 against the Giants. Right now, the Mets haven't proven that they can win on the road. They're not a good road team, as we said weeks ago. They're 33-16 at home. Great home record, but on the road, they are 6 games under 500. So I'm gonna go 2 out of 3. I think they handle the Angels pretty good, 2 out of 3, but then I know San Francisco's been struggling a little bit, but I think they lose. I think the Mets lose 2 out of 3 in San Francisco.
Yeah, you're not going to get too much argument from me for the same record. I see them handling the Angels pretty well. But the Giants, regardless of what their record is, it's not like they're 7 games under 500. So they're definitely going to give them fits. And the way with the Mets and the way they're currently constructed, the way that they've been playing, I'm sorry, I don't see them winning that series.
Yeah. It's that's the way it is. Brother, before we transition to the other team, the All-Star game. We had the All-Star game this past week, and honestly, I said it last week. The All-Star game, the MLB All-Star game is, I think, to me, it's my favorite All-Star game of all the major sports in North America. I think because everybody still plays, I think it's still competitive. And I'm going to be honest, the numbers proved it, brother. The MLB All-Star game racked in 7.2 million viewers. That is the most watched All-Star game of the Big Four major sports in North America. NBA was second. NBA and the NFL was second with 4.7 million. You know what I mean? So shout outs to MLB. They got that right. I love the home run. I don't know what they call it. The home run hit off. I don't know what they did. But obviously, for those that may not know, the All-Star game, the American League tied it.
The swing off.
Yeah, the swing off. And so instead of going into extra innings, they did a swing off where both managers, the American League and the National League, Aaron Boone and Dave Roberts, they selected 3 players of their choosing. Each player got 3 swings, and they basically alternated, and whoever got the most home runs after all 6 guys hit, they won. Now, it was a great reaction. A lot of people reacted really well. They enjoyed it. Now, I do know some people were bummed because when they were bringing it up, Joe Davis was talking about it on announcing. I was like, oh, shoot. Oh, I almost cursed. Oh, shoot. Like, yo, we're going to get judged. You know what I mean? But, it was already tweeted during the Twitter, like some people had reported, like, all right, most of the starters left. So, obviously, I think the National League still brought out some studs. I can't say the same for the American League, but it was dope. Overall, I enjoyed the All-Star game, brother. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, look, Pete Alonso started the game off really early with 2-run home run. Kyle Schwarber, amazing in the swing off, 3 for 3. Brother, this is... One, I like the new change, and 2, it's entertaining to see these guys. This is the reason why people vote for these players, to see them in All-Star games. I hate it when we watch, when it comes to football, it's already at the end of the season. Most of the people that you have voted for may be in the championship game, so they don't play that one. And then again, it's become a flag football game at this point, and it doesn't hold the same value like it used to in the past. Then with basketball, these guys are so...
They don't compete.
They're so divas when it comes to this, and I get it, like protecting your health, your interest, your money, and blah, blah, blah. But it is just... I've seen these guys play better games at Rucker Park or in some random gym than they ever play in the All-Star game. So kudos to MLB for at least having that integrity when it comes to the All-Star game, showing that it means something to them.
Yeah, I think if it's anything that I can change, I would just have the All-Star game played on the weekend. Only because if you think about it, guys that have made the All-Star game, Aaron Judge, Francisco Lindor, those kind of guys, they don't get much of a break because obviously the home run derby's Monday. You finish whatever, right? You played the game Sunday. The All-Star game, the home run derby's Monday. All-Star game is then Tuesday. So you're really just given 2 days, Wednesday, Thursday, because everybody's season resumes on Friday. So it's like you don't get much of a break if you make the All-Star game, and obviously. It's a lot more to it. They're just not doing the games. They're doing press. They're doing this. Whatever sponsorships they got to do it. So it's like, I just feel like move it to the weekend. You can put almost like the NBA. You can put home run derby maybe Saturday night, have the game play Sunday, and then now you're giving guys 4 days off. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So that's it. Obviously, Aaron Boone, he got some slack for his options in the swing off. And now, people who are not Yankee fans got a glimpse of how Yankee fans feel about Aaron Boone. Because the Yankee season resumed in Atlanta, and the same bonehead mistakes are happening. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it. This is the Pinstripes Report.
The Pinstripe Report.
This is the Pinstripes Report, guys. This is where we talk about the Bronx Bombers. And yeah, I can't make this up, brother. Every time I come in with the intentions, I'm writing the script, I come in with the intentions to throw fire, to really clap at the Yankees. They go and they do something to kind of like stiff on me a little bit. Because that's what they did Saturday. I had every intentions to fry the Yankees up. Because you go and lay an egg. You had an All-Star break. You're coming from the All-Star break. You lose 2 out of 3 to the Chicago Cubs. After the first game, you dominated 11-0. You go out, drop the last 2 games. Aaron Boone, you out here looking stupid in the All-Star game. Then you come, I don't want to spoil you the rest of the script, but horrible base running. No accountability going on. How the hell are we coming from an All-Star break and we're starting the second half of the season with an opener? How do we not have a starter? Ian Hamilton comes in, the game was over in the first inning. Then Saturday comes. Same thing. Will Warren didn't have it. Braves start up early. But then this fight from this team. Anthony Volpe.
Your boy.
Anthony Volpe. Did he hit 2 home runs? I believe he hit 2 home runs.
2 home runs. His first multi-homer game, by the way.
Anthony Volpe. I'm ready to pack his bags. And every time I'm ready to pick up the suitcase, he goes and does something like that. Now look, obviously it hasn't changed my opinion on Anthony Volpe. However, I do respect the fight that the Yankees put. That they came back. Shout out to Grissom. Big home run. Cody Bellinger. Man, Cody Bellinger has been, I don't know. I think the Yankees are going to have a tough decision in the offseason when it comes to Cody Bellinger. Because obviously I know Kyle Tucker in Chicago is somebody that I know I would want on the team. And I know that the Yankees may look into. But Cody Bellinger has been everything you can ask for as far as what he's been able to do with the bat. Obviously his defense, his versatility in fielding. He can play multiple positions in outfield, first base. But this Yankee team showed a little fight. Obviously, brother, like as you mentioned with the Mets, after this recording, we don't know if they're going to win on Sunday. I would hope they do, because you can't lose 2 out of 3 to the bum Braves, I'm being honest.
Yeah. Cody Bellinger is one of those guys that I feel like has not gotten so much love from this show because of just the glaring like stuff that comes from like Volpe, from the needs at third base. Other things have come up. Judge is Judge because we're going to talk about our guy because he's that great. But Bellinger has been one of those unsung heroes that has just showing that he has been a great addition to our team since we've signed him. So I definitely am in the camp of let's keep him if we can in the offseason as long as the price looks right. But let's see. I definitely would like to see that happen. As far as the rest of the team, Volpe. Okay, maybe you did get some lemon pepper wings in Atlanta or something. Like, we'll call that back. Maybe you did
Maybe he did.
Maybe you did. But, I definitely want to see this team get, Bellinger going, Grisham going, Stanton going, Volpe, turn it around because we keep saying for many times in end of last year and going into the season, it has felt like it's Aaron Judge or bust. And we cannot have a lineup that does that because then you just become predictable and they know how to pitch around you. So, get it together, guys.
Just to highlight Cody Bellinger, 284, 17 home runs, 56 RBIs, OPS at 835. I think he's going to finish with at least close to 30 homers. I think so. He's been good.
We're getting close to the deadline, so we need to see something else change as well.
We spoke about it on last week's show. about wanting to get Eugenio Suarez. We need him here. Emmanuel Clase, you have to get the bullpen. Johnny Lasagna, Loizaga, Lasagna. Yeah. Yankee fans call him Johnny Lasagna.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I said Loizaga because I want people to think, oh, well, his name is not Lasagna. But, he struggled. I was talking to my boy, and it's just like, outside of Tim Hill and Luke Weaver, which Luke Weaver got out of a big bases loaded jam on Saturday, the bullpen hasn't been that great. So, Yankees got some things to do. It's going to be an interesting few weeks. Yankees are still 3 games out. Obviously, there's a lot more baseball to go, so I'm not looking into that. But let's get into it because this is a big week for the Yankees. This is a monster week, I think, for the Yankees. And I don't want to make it seem like it's doom or gloom in July of the season, but man, this is a big week that we need the Yankees to get their stuff together because they brother popped the schedule up. They got a big 3-game set with the Blue Jays. Last time we was in Toronto, Yankee fans know we got swept. George Springer was out here 2-stepping like Drake. I was very upset about that. Didn't like that. And we have a 3-game set against the Phillies to follow that at home. I wish I can be confident, brother, and tell you that we're winning 2 out of 3. But I think that we will win 2 out of 3 in Toronto. I think the way we got smacked up, the way we looked, I would hope that there's some dog and there's some spirit on this Yankee team. That they're going to go into Toronto tonight, with game 1 being tonight, with some grapefruits. That now, this ain't happened. Last time what happened ain't going to happen again. So I got us winning 2 out of 3. And then the Phillies. Met fans, who y'all rooting for? Because Met fans, there's some so spiteful Met fans, they would still probably root for the Phillies, even though they're going against the Yankees. And you would think, that's kind of like right now, I'm pretty sure some of them are going for the Braves. My heart says 2 out of 3 for both series. But, I'm going with my heart. I'm going 2 out of 3.
Go with your heart, brother. You know what? The Yankees are going against 2 first-place teams in their division, so
tough
definitely
teams, brother. Tough teams.
Games that we must win games, honestly, if we're being completely honest.
These especially the Blue Jays, because we've already got swept. That tiebreakers got to come into fact. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah. So this is definitely one of those 2 series that we definitely want to see positive stuff from the Yankees. Now, just because I want it doesn't mean I'm going to get exactly what I want. So I definitely can see both series being lost by the Yankees, but I don't see sweeps. I do see, 2 for 3s in both series that we're losing. If the Yankees turn it around, then fine. If you want to write me and say, hey, David, you were wrong, go for it. That means our Yankees won. So that's how I see it right now, but maybe things change.
Yeah, and I hope it does, brother. I hope it does. So, the Yankees, man, the Yankees, they get me high, then I get low, I get high, I'm happy, and then I'm not. But you know what always makes me happy, brother? That's sneakers. And we got some interesting releases that came out this week, and interesting releases that's coming out next weekend. Let's get into it, brother. This is Heat Check.
What are those?
All right, guys. This is Heat Check. This is where David and I discuss everything sneakers in the sneaker community, releases, and what we like, what we don't like. And brother, we got some dope releases that came out this past weekend. As we had the first of all, I want to say we had the Kith pack, the Kith New Balance 204L pack that came out. I'm going to be honest, I had exclusive access for it as a Fatality member. I'm not used to it. I just became Fatality, and I got the notification. I wanted to get my hands on one of them, and
Which
unfortunately,
ones? The Sunburst or the Bluebell?
I wanted the Bluebell, because I like just the combination of the gray and the teal and that stuff. I really wanted those, and it had a low retail price of $130, so that was my fault. For those that get EA on KIF, I think it's at 1 p.m. You get it 1 p.m. the day prior to the release, and I forgot. Life was life in that day, brother. That's why I forgot. I'll tell you. I'll tell you when we're done with this episode. But life was life in that day, so that's why I skipped it. But I like them. I like the shoes. I think all three were. It's a good pack. I think whichever color that you liked, whether it was the camellias. That's how you pronounce it. The camellias.
I believe so. Yeah.
Like the blossom kind of color. And then you had the sunburst. The Sunburst looked a lot like a pair that I already had, so those was the least, the ones that I liked the least. But shout outs to those that got it. If you got it, let us know in the comments below. And what's your thoughts on that, brother? On those before
Honestly,
we jump into the other show?
I do like the Bluebells, but I do also like the Camellias. I don't know. It's just
the Camellias was
Valentine's Day. But
the Camellias was like my second favorite of the three.
Yeah, it screams Valentine's Day for me, but I like them.
Yeah. We also got another shoe that I'm not going to lie, I forgot came out because I would have gone for them. And that's the Kobe 6 Pro Tros. I know people call them the WNBAs. I'm going to call them the WNBAs. Shout out to the WNBA. Shout out to Sabrina Ionescu winning the 3-point contest. That's right. You know what I mean? Her second in 3 years. And yeah, these are core, but I think Nike has them as the Total Orange. That's a horrible name. I would just rather keep the WNBA. They have them. These are fire, bro. Obviously, Kobe 6s, I believe, in my opinion, I don't want to speak for you. I think are the best Kobe's, the Kobe 6s. Unfortunately, I do not own a pair of Kobe 6s, which is insane. But I wish I would have gotten these, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I like these. They just, if you like the Grinches, if you like the reverse Grinches, then you definitely like these. I think it's hard to say I don't like this color. So if you pick these up, kudos to you because these are a fire pair.
Yeah, dope. And then you got the creme de la creme, OG sneakerheads. I know New York went insane for this. Come on, you go. I'm going to New York Tuesday. I know I'm going to see everybody on the block wearing these, and that's the Jordan 8 Aquas. Shout out to my brother Zay. That was one of his favorite Jordans. Was the Aqua 8s. Brother, we talked about this before we started recording. This is a shoe that both you and I would love to get. But I think I want you to share to the audience how, we want them, but it's how we get them. I want you to explain that.
So for everyone who's aware, me and Omar both live in Florida at this point. Omar's been here a few years. I've just been here 2 years. And there's an adjustment that you need to do coming from New York City to moving to Florida when it comes to wearing these sneakers. And we're not wearing jeans all the time. And I get it. The summer's going on right now, so that's when they drop. So people are definitely going to be wearing them. But it's just a certain way that the sneakers look when you're wearing shorts that they don't always look right unless you're going to go play a game. Or if you find a way to just match it, or make it look good. It doesn't have to be matched because I really hate how people do the whole colorway match thing.
Yeah, you look like the mannequin from Jimmy Jazz.
Yeah, so we're not doing that.
Nah.
But it's just a sneaker that, if I ever see it in an outlet, I definitely want to pick it up because it is a sneaker that I do like a lot. It's just when it comes to and Omar can vouch for this as well. When it comes to living down here, the style change has to change a little bit, just as far as what you wear, because you're not going to be wearing the same things as you would. This is a fall sneaker I would wear many times. So this is the way I approach sneakers going forward. This is how I approach it, and I think Omar can pretty much speak for the same.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know. I think obviously I don't know. Let us know in the comments below how you would style the Aqua 8s. I would struggle with it. I don't know. Am I strapping it? Am I letting it hang? Wow.
That's it. We're done with the show, guys.
Let us know in the comments below. Are you strapping it or are you letting it hang?
Well, I think the only way you could pull it off down here, like if we're talking about right now, it's summertime. It's night. It's cool enough because it's still hot in the night, and you're wearing jeans. I think that's the only way you're gonna pull it off.
Yeah, exactly. But it's still a fire shoe, man. The Aqua 8s, I'm looking at them now, man. Dave has the graphic up now, man. This is a beautiful shoe, bro. This is a beautiful shoe. I don't care. And unfortunately, like you said, well, not unfortunately, fortunately for us, I think we're gonna be able to get in the outlet because I think that's a shoe that a lot of the current sneakerheads, and I don't even like calling them that, but I'll call them that. If it don't make money, it doesn't, they don't care about it, and that's not us. That's not us. We don't care about whether it's a resale or whatever. Like the shoe's fire. I would love to get my hands on them but as an outlet pickup, as you touched on, brother. Let's get to the sneakers that are coming out because we got some dope ones that are coming out this week. Let's start off first, July 22nd. We got the Nike Arts and Rec SB Dunk Lows. They have a retail price of $140. Brother, I'm gonna be honest. They're okay. They look a lot like the Safari though. The Safari Dunks.
I thought these were a spin-off of these. They are a cool sneaker. It's not one that's going to be in my collection, but if you are someone who does not own SBs, and you didn't hear us on our last heat check, SBs are probably the most comfortable of the dunks that you can own. So 100%. Definitely, I highly recommend it. It is a good-looking sneaker. It's just maybe not to me and Omar's taste at this moment. No. But maybe if it was available and you see it in person, it's something you feel different. At this moment, fire sneaker, comfortable. If you can pick it up, go for it.
Yeah. Yeah. If you like it, you know what I mean? Definitely, for sure. I agree with everything you said, brother. Then we got July 24th. We got the Air Jordan 3 denim pink flow. Obviously, this is grade school, though. So, brother, we can't get these. Our big feet, we can't get these. But our ladies can. It's going to grade school. I actually like these. There's certain colorways that I'm really jealous that the females and kids get that I wish they would have made them extended sizes. I actually really like this shoe, and it's fitting for the season. This is a dope summer shoe. I like it.
Yeah, I definitely see this. It's going to look cool on the kids. Like, I love when parents when they don't overdo it with dressing their kids. But I can see this as a back to school sneaker.
I was just about to say that. I could definitely see kids back to school wearing them, especially down here in Florida because I know school starts a little earlier. They start in August. But yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So this is definitely one of those sneakers that I can see. So I definitely am looking forward to that. Unfortunately, like Omar said, we have big feet, so we are. Unless we decide to want to cut them off, we're not getting.
Yeah. But one shoe that we can get, brother, that is coming out the next day, July 25th, is the A Ma Maniere Jordan 5s, black collective. I'm gonna be honest. We spoke about this, brother. Before we started recording about the A Ma Manieres, and I'm gonna be honest, man. I don't think there's a collab that I don't think there's one that A Ma Maniere did that I didn't like. Obviously, I would rank their 3s as the number one. I think they did a great job with their 4s, both of them. And Dave and I, we're gonna preface this. We don't care about resale price. Like we don't grade the sneaker we like based off the resale value. Because I know that outside of the 3s, most of the A Ma Manieres are pretty low as far as resale. They're 12s. I know some of the 12s has been in the outlet, the white ones and the black ones. But these 5s, brother, I'm gonna be honest. If they're anything like the Khaled's, where they use more of a premium leather, I'm all good with these because I think I like 5s. I have a few pairs. I have the off-whites. I have the Khaled's. But the thing with 5s that I don't like is the creasing. It creases very easy on the toe box. But the premium leather ones, so the Khaled's, they don't crease as bad. So the A Ma Manieres, I'm going to assume at that retail price of $225, and A Ma Manieres being that collab, if the leather's premium, sign me up for those. I like those.
Yeah, at this moment, I'm putting a picture that the leather looks amazing. I mean, obviously, I want to see it in hand, but and it's just because I like sometimes with some sneakers, it's just good to look at them in person. Like they look great on your feet, but when you hold them up to your face, like yo, you see the craftsmanship, you see how much care and like detail was put into like putting the sneaker together. Obviously, it's an existing model, but what you could do to spin it, it's something that we as sneakerheads enjoy, especially when it comes to collabs. So. At this photo right now, the leather looks pretty premium, brother. So I definitely think that you may end up calling me and telling me that you picked these up because
I might. I like the color, man. I like it. I like them a lot. I'm gonna be honest. I like them a lot. Another shoe that I like, the last one, guys, that are coming out this week, and I think is the Big Boy. I think this is the Big Boy. I think this shoe has had some hype to it. And that's the Jordan 4 Rare Airs that are coming out July 26th. It has a retail price of $215. I love these. I'm going to be honest. I love these. However, they look too much like 4s I've already owned because I do own the Breads and I do own the Union 4s. And they look a little bit like it. They look like a hybrid of that. You got the red, the white, and the blue. But man, I love these. I love these. But I'm gonna politely skip. But I love these. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I'm loving the details on these. Like I love like that like nubuck-ish material in the front. Like the suede.
And then they got like the tough. They got the tough suede, and then they got the nubuck.
The inside lining is blue, so it looks really nice. Just the little details on this, and then you got like the aged look on the back of the sole.
Yeah.
So
you know what these kind of look like, brother? They look like the I don't know if you can get the image. If you do, I would love for you to pop it up. I was gonna say Nigel, obviously not Nigel, but Off-White. Why am I drawing a blank on the guy that died? Off-White.
No, not Nigel.
I was gonna double down. Nigel Sylvester.
I'm gonna cut down the time so nobody knows how long we took to get this together. Yeah.
Virgil. They look like the unreleased black Off-White Breads that I think his wife wore. There was an image of his wife wearing them.
I'll look.
These kind of look like that, and I think that's going to be the main reason why they sell out and they're going to be hot because of that. They kind of look like the unreleased bread Off-Whites.
You know why I like them? I like them because they remind me of the top 3
yes.
Jordans.
Yeah, top 3 ones.
And those are a sneaker that to this day I regret that I never picked up. And I know, brother,
I was about to say, I'm going to be honest, I had to look because I know I owned them. But I don't know if I had sold them. I still have them. Have them.
So those are the sneakers that I regret not getting at the time, especially when I got my Breads and my Royals. So I definitely would love to.
You know what? That was a shoe that Lil Yachty said too that he regretted. I remember there was a couple years ago. They had asked him like, "Oh, is there any sneaker that you regret not getting?" You know, at the time, I'm pretty sure he got it now, but like. He mentioned top 3s. He was like, yo, I thought those were ass when they came out. And then he's like, man, I regretted not getting them. But but guys, you let us know in the comments below what sneaker you're thinking of getting. And if there's a sneaker that you felt like that's coming out that we missed, let us know. But, brother, a lot of things have happened in the sports world. And we gotta get into that, brother. So let's do it. This is Quick Hits. All right, y'all, this is Quick Hits. This is where we cover everything around the globe. The hits come so quick, you don't see it coming. Brother, we gotta kick off this Quick Hit segment with our very own New York Jets, who just locked down 2 of their biggest young stars, baby. 2. The Jets and Sauce Gardner agreed to a 4-year, $120.4 million extension, making him the highest paid corner in NFL history. Meanwhile, Garrett Wilson, wide receiver stud from the Ohio State, baby, has secured a 4-year, $130 million deal with $90 million being guaranteed, keeping both of them in New York through 2030. Now, brother, not literally, but figuratively, take your Patriots hat off. Brother, are the Jets building a championship core?
They did the right things. I'll say this.
Okay.
I don't know if they're building a champion. I don't know if they're doing like a championship team, but they're doing the right things to move in that direction. Sauce Gardner is probably one of the best. I wouldn't say he's the best corner, but he's one of the best corners in the league, especially at such a young age. The man is what? Isn't he dating also Ice Spice? So kudos to you, I guess.
Yes, he's with Ice Spice. Yes, he is.
So,
He's
you
with
know,
Ice
I know you're having fun in the off season too. But let's get back on track. Sauce Gardner is one of the best defenders in the league. You feel him? He's a munch. Anyways, anyways, back on this track. He's one of the best defenders in the league. The Jets have a lot of high hopes with having him as the anchor. You know, coming from the days of Darrelle Revis, you know the Jets love their corners and they love their guy who stands out, and he is that guy. So definitely the right thing to do in paying him. And then when we go to offense, Garrett Wilson, you know, he's great, but he's had to deal with crappy Aaron Rodgers, and he's had to deal with other bad quarterbacks under his play too. But he still put up numbers. He's still showing promise. I have him in one of my dynasty leagues. As much as I hate the Jets, I also want to win. And if I could maybe trade him, great. Yeah. If not, whatever. But the Jets are in the right direction when it comes to moving towards that future for them. How him and Justin Fields connect, we'll see. Justin Fields showed some promise last year, so we'll see how he gels with the Jets and makes Garrett Wilson look better. How do you feel, bro?
I'm gonna be honest. I agree with you said. You gotta lock those guys down. Like a friend of mine's was just like, yeah, who's he gonna throw? You know, who's throwing the ball to Garrett Wilson? And it's just like, but that's not something that just because you maybe your quarterback position is not ideal, but it's like doesn't mean you don't lock down your studs. You still have to lock down your studs. You have to build. You know what I mean? And
good receivers find a way. Good receivers find a way. DeAndre Hopkins did it. Yeah, Andre Johnson did it. Justin Jefferson had Kirk Cousins, and while Kirk Cousins was playing great, he found a way to still do it. So that argument, it's good receivers find a way. But continue,
fair
brother.
point. No, 100%. I thought they did the right moves. The only thing I instantly thought about is what happens with Breece Hall. That's the only thing. Obviously, Breece Hall is, I think this is the final year, and I'm looking at getting him in the draft, in my fantasy draft, because I think he's gonna cook. He's gonna want a big deal, and I think Breece Hall is gonna be the odd guy out now that Sauce and Garrett got their bread. So
keep an eye on Braylon Allen, by the way. Yeah. Keep an eye on Braylon Allen, the backup.
He looked good. He did look good when time was when Breece Hall was out. But let's see.
All right, brother. Let's pivot to the other New York football team. So the Giants, who have now to deal with. Let's start this over again. Let's pivot to New York's other football team, the Giants. Oh man, guys, I just messed up. So I'm starting from the top, and I cut. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it. Let's do it again. One more time. This is the third time. Third time's a charm. All right, let's pivot to New York's other team, the Giants, who have to deal with a very familiar face twice this season. Sources tell insiders that 8-time Pro Bowler Von Miller is signing with the Washington Commanders. Could Miller's move shift the balance in the NFC East?
Not really. He's just a name at this point. I know Von Miller, obviously he's not the same player. Obviously he's had some health issues in Buffalo and that sort of thing, and he's just a name. It's funny because I was trying to find the meme. There's a meme on Twitter that the Washington's defense is like very old because he got like Bobby Wagner and he got all these old guys. And look, I thought that the Commanders were already the second best team in the division behind the Eagles, and this signing hasn't changed my mind on that. Cool, you add Von Miller. This is no shade to his career. He's going to be a Hall of Famer, obviously Super Bowl champ. Is he a 2-time Super Bowl champ? Did he win with the Rams?
I could check that.
Yeah, but it is what it is. I don't think he moves the needle, and hey, I don't mind those signings because, brother, those are low risk, high reward signings. So it is what it is.
Right. I think with Von Miller, he has a 2-time Super Bowl champ, by the way.
So he did win with the Rams. Yes, he won with the Rams then. Okay.
Yeah. So Von Miller, I think it's not a bad signing. You bring veteran leadership to a young core over there in Washington. There are a team that's in the come up, and I can see them definitely being in the running in at least the playoffs for the next couple of years as standing right now. The only thing that I think the Commanders have big issues on their hands, whereas their number one receiver hasn't been locked down with the contract, and the Patriots are knocking on the door for Terry McLaurin. So we'll see.
They gotta pay him. Yeah, they gotta pay him.
That's somebody I think that they need to be focused on right now. If you can pay Von Miller, I think you can pay Terry McLaurin. So just you got bigger fish to fry.
I agree. Let's stay in football. Let's stick it with football, brother, because T.J. Watt, superstar of the Steelers, just became the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history for the second time in his career, securing a 3-year, $123 million contract extension. Brother, at this stage right now in T.J. Watt's career, is he worth the dollars, or did the Steelers overpay?
I mean, he's an 8-year pro, 7-time Pro Bowl player, 1-time Defensive Player of the Year. He is their defense star, if anything, the star of the team, because I don't know anybody outside of that team that stands out that much. I think there was someone else who said that they need to pay T.J. Watt. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but they were saying that they need to pay T.J. Watt. There was not an option of whether they can or not, or they don't. T.J. Watt is one of those great players that does make a difference when he's on the field, and I think that the Steelers need to do this because there's a lot of questions with that organization. You signed Aaron Rodgers, and I don't think that that's the best signing for this team. I'd like to see how that team shapes up on the offense, especially with the addition of DK Metcalf as well. They got rid of Najee Harris. They got Warren starting, but they're running.
Where did he go? Where did Najee Harris go?
He went to the Chargers. He went to the Chargers. So, I think they're still going to run a running back by committee over there in the Steelers. Yeah. But that's offensive things. When it comes to the defense, you needed to do the signing because where else was TJ Watt going to go?
Yeah.
You need to make him a Steeler for life.
Yeah. He's the heart and soul of that team. And obviously, as you touched on, brother, they're, the Steelers in recent years, obviously, let's be honest, since even the fading years of Ben Roethlisberger, and post Ben Roethlisberger, they've been defense. Their defense has won them games and got them the records that they've gotten. So you had to pay TJ. It's that simple. You had no choice. And I don't think you're gonna have any Steeler fans that are gonna be with pitchforks. Hey, you overpaid. I don't think you're gonna get anybody that's gonna do that.
All right, brother. We are gonna pivot. So we're gonna go over to the NBA. Marcus Smart has agreed to a contract buyout with the Washington Wizards and plans to sign a 2-year, $11 million deal with the Los Angeles Lakers once he clears waivers, sources tell ESPN. Could Smart be the missing piece the Lakers need to make another title run? And I'll preface this real quick before we move on. Brother, did you know that Luka was the one who contacted Marcus Smart?
Yeah, I did. Hey, man, that's how the league works. Hey, he's recruiting. I like it. You could get it. I know Marcus Smart has dealt with some injuries, since leaving the Celtics, and but he's, when healthy, he's an all defensive kind of player. I think this has a lot to do with the Knicks as well because the Knicks do have a veteran minimum spot that they can hold, and there were rumblings that they were holding off to see if Marcus Smart would get bought out, and apparently he did. But, Luka called before Jalen Brunson could. But I like it. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because he would have been a guy that I think would have fit the Knicks really well. But I like this move for the Lakers. Add some toughness, obviously, like I said, but it's more on his ability to be in the court. I think he'll be motivated, obviously, him being in Washington. He went to Memphis and that, and he was hurt there, and Washington, obviously, who's motivated to play in Washington? So, obviously, the question is, does it make for a title run? Obviously, I don't think the Lakers are in any position where I feel like they could win the title, but this does help them a bit.
I agree. I think this helps them as far as getting the defensive player who's gonna be a challenge for people on the court, especially if he can stay on the court. That's, I think, the biggest thing for Marcus Smart at this point. I don't think motivation is a factor that you really have to consider at this point with him. I think it's just more so his health and can his body keep up with him. But they get, a 3-time All-Defense. They get a former Defensive Player of the Year. They get a lot of stuff with him, and there's also, once again, that leadership that you bring to this team that you want with, as far as like with LeBron and Marcus Smart. Like, there's a lot of smart no pun intended, but there's a lot of smart players on this court right now to also help Luka, because I think that's a big, important part for the growing of Luka. Luka's going to be a Laker for quite some time, as far as we know, so we definitely want to see him grow as far as his play outside of offense.
Yeah, and then Luka's a defensive liability, so you add a all-defense kind of guy, Marcus Smart, that helps. Brother, let's, speaking of another, legendary guard. Damian Lillard is finalizing a 3-year, $42 million contract to return to the Portland Trailblazers. Sources told ESPN the deal was expected to include a player option for the 2027-2028 season and a full no-trade clause. So that's very important. Signaling a strong mutual commitment between Damian Lillard and obviously the franchise that drafted him. Brother, is this the right move for Dame at this stage of his career?
I say yes, but it's not for the reasons that people think because of like playoffs and stuff like that. I think that one, he is the star of when you think of the Trailblazers in the last decade or so. Yeah, he's the one that you think of, and we're long past the '90s, so we need to get over these stars from the old age outside of Jordan. So I definitely think that Dame Lillard is that guy that people think of when they think of the Trailblazers. This also secures that money for him, because at the end of the day, I don't know who was going to really be paying Dame. I know people wanted Dame. I don't know if people wanted to pay Dame. That's the problem. And then, the Trailblazers are on the come up. They have Chauncey Billups as their coach. They have Drew Holiday. That also helps him as well, as far as with the defensive, mindset that has to go into that team. Trailblazers are definitely going to look different this year, so we'll see. But I like the move for them. I just don't know if this means playoff run. I just think this is a good move for the Portland Trailblazers and Lillard.
I think if you're a Portland Trailblazers fan, you get your star coming back. Brother, there's guys that they ring chase as they get older in their career, and this just told me that Dame's not gonna ring chase. You know what I mean? Like obviously we know his ties to Portland. Not rumor, but word has it that he was gonna be rehabbing from the Achilles anyway in Portland. He has a home in Portland. He does all his foundations, everything. He does in Portland. So honestly, it's a feel-good story for him. And then who knows? To be honest, man, like you said, Portland's on the rise, so he won't be available for this coming season, 25-26. He'll be ready for the 26-27. Who knows by then? Maybe Portland's running a team very similar to OKC. Who knows? But it's just, to me, it's more of a feel-good story than anything. So,
brother, and keeping it in basketball. So, lastly, the 3-time All-NBA All-Star Bradley Beal has agreed on a contract buyout with the Phoenix Suns and is expected to join the Los Angeles Clippers on a 2-year, $11 million deal that includes a player option pending he clears the waivers. Is this a piece that finally pushes the Clippers over the top?
Yeah, if this was 2015. Look, honestly, I don't want to be hypocritical. I think Bradley Beal. I think for what the Clippers got, it's a good signing. You got Bradley Beal for 2 years, $11 million. You're not paying him that crazy amount of money that Phoenix was, so you don't have to worry about that. And the production that you get for Bradley Beal, it's not bad. But I don't, the Clippers are. My thing is this: you got rid of Norman Powell. And that's because they were pivoting to Bradley Beal. Obviously, Bradley Beal, I would say, is the better player on paper. But I don't know. I don't know that it makes them better than what they were last year, to be honest.
The Clippers finished 5th in the NBA last year. They looked good. Kawhi looked better. Harden looked better. The team as a team looked better. But the Clippers at this point have almost felt like a retirement home for players that could have been. It's literally outside of Kawhi, because Kawhi at least has a championship, 2 championships under his belt.
Yeah,
it's a retirement home for players that could have been.
Yeah.
And like you said, if this was 2015, oh my God, we'd be ranting and raving over this team. But that's not dumb. And at the end of the day, I don't get the hype for Bradley Beal. I'm being completely honest.
Yeah.
I don't get it. So let's see what the Clippers become, but I don't see them higher than 5th.
Let's see what they do. But brother, we can't wrap up a show without sharing the highlight of the week.
He's on fire!
All right, y'all. Highlight of the week. You see, this is why us as here in the Ozone, we're fair, brother. We're fair. I would say we're very fair. And highlight of the week, if it was fire, as the segment opener says, he's on fire, it's gonna be on it. Ronald Acuña does it again. He was the highlight. He was the recipient of the highlight of the week a few episodes before with his amazing catch against the Mets. Doubles off Juan Soto first base. And the Yankees have now become a victim of Ronald Acuña as, first of all, the way the camera showed that, I thought it was a Bellinger home run. They duped us. This man, Ronald Acuña, throws a laser to third base. Not even a one hop or nothing. Straight laser. And mind you, he's not even going with momentum. He is at like a stand position, just effortless. Like just effortless. Dart. The third base. Snipes Yorbit Vivas, who should have been sent to the minors right after that for not sliding. But an amazing arm. Ronald Acuña, I'm so happy to have him back. I know he tore his ACL last year, and man, he is one of the best players in the game. He does it offensively and does it defensively as well, brother.
Brother, I know this is the Ozone highlight of the week, but I think we're going to have to rename it to the Acuña highlight of the week.
Yeah, for real, man.
This man is owning a few highlights for this year, and, he might be the best. Oh, my God, the best player of the year.
Don't worry, we'll bleep it out. We'll bleep it out. This is 2 weeks in a row, brother. It's 2 weeks in a row.
I'm slipping. You know what? It's too much coffee.
You caffeinated too much.
But kudos to not only Acuña, but the third baseman for not selling that he was going to, the ball was coming his way. And Vivas, you should have been Vivas, you should have been paying attention to your coach because they told you to slide. They told you to slide, and I get it. You're not a permanent solution at third base, but man, you should be paying attention if you want to come up.
He shouldn't be after that. He shouldn't be after.
Acuña, this was great.
Shout out to Ronald Acuña for being a recipient of the highlight of the week. Brother, there's some news that I want to share with the audience, and it's pertaining a little bit of wrestling. Should we share it about what we got in store? So, guys, August 1st, Friday, that is a Friday, Dave will have pop up the graphic. We are having the SummerSlam preview show. The cards are starting to line up. WWE is starting to give us a glimpse of what we're going to be getting for night 1 and 2 of SummerSlam. So as Dave and I did for WrestleMania, we previewed WrestleMania. We had a special episode come out Friday, so you guys are fully tapped in before we start the weekend. And we are doing the same for SummerSlam. As August 1st, we will have the SummerSlam preview show with our very first guest. And that's our boy Jeremy from the Rockin' Nose channel. So, guys, join us August 1st as all 3 of us are going to be discussing night 1 and night 2 of SummerSlam. Brother, the card is looking pretty good. Obviously, they haven't, we don't know which is going to be night 1, night 2. But I think we can assume the main event, CM Punk, Gunther is probably going to main event night 1. And then you got the rematch with Cody and Cena. I'm excited, brother, for this show.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting Jeremy for the first time, and getting, if I could see him before then, I would love to. But it's coming up so soon, so I'll probably have to see him later on. But Jeremy, we are so happy to have you as a guest on this show, so we can talk some wrestling because we are looking forward to 2 nights of SummerSlam. Some of the card is shaping up to look nice.
Yeah.
I see that they're tying in Cardi B with the storyline. I think they're going to include her with Naomi or something like that. But I'm interested in seeing how this show shapes up for us guys. Like, please tune in. If there's anything you're looking forward to in this SummerSlam, whether it's a match, certain things, it's in New York or Jersey. Let us know how you like it. Let us know what you're feeling and what you're looking most forward to in SummerSlam, please.
Let us know in the comments below what match you're excited for. I think SummerSlam is there's one match that I don't want to get into. I will get into in the preview show. That I think it got train written all over it. So that's a teaser for that. But remember, guys, August 1st we will have a special episode, and then we got some big news pertaining to the Ozone once we get into football season, and we will let you guys know ahead of time. But it's gonna be a big change, big change with the Ozone, and Dave and I are excited. Let's be transparent with our audience, brother. We are looking and bringing in guests during the football season. This will be the Ozone's first. When we started the show, brother, football season was coming to an end. So this is I'm looking at it, bro. This is our first year covering football, so I'm excited to bring some guests over too. So we're excited for that. But guys, for all the news, everything updated with the Ozone like we made. Dave and I, we came up with the top 5 best New York Mets David Wright moments. To see that, you got to follow us on all our social media platforms. That's Instagram, TikTok. I did good last week. Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Twitter,
Reddit.
And Reddit. Yeah, I was clean last week.
You were on the money.
I was on the money, and I botched it today. But guys, be sure to follow us on all our social media platforms. The good thing is that Dave saves me because Dave has the graphic with it up. So even if I miss it, it's there. So guys, be sure to like, subscribe, all that. Yep.
Real quick, Omar, I don't want to cut off your thing real quick, but I just want to say something. So, as we just noticed, the highlight of the week was Acuña again, and we just want to make something very transparent. We have gave you guys the option to share with us your highlight of the week, and you know what? Joey, you started off a trend. We started something because of you, but people have not followed. So we want people to submit your highlight of the week. Maybe if it's Acuña again, great. But at least somebody else picked it besides us because we don't want to feel like we're Braves fans over here. So definitely, guys,
exactly. And it could be anything, guys. It could be if you're into cricket, soccer, anything. You've seen an amazing play that you feel like should be the recipient of the highlight of the week. Let us know. DM us. As we showed. We'll have a highlight that even if it's against our teams, we've proven that. So it's not like, I don't want to submit a Red Sox one, or I don't want to submit I don't know, like anything that's against our teams. We've proven that we'll put it on the show. So thank you for saying that, brother, and reminding our audience about that. But guys, be sure remember to like, subscribe. Anything that we discussed about David Wright. What do you think about David Wright? Was he deserving of, his number being retired? And I wanted to mention this before we wrap up. Mets, next player, Jose Reyes. Let it go. I don't know if there's a beef between Jose Reyes and how he left the Mets.
I think it's just his off the field issues that he's had that they're like questioning.
Yeah. But he should be next.
Yeah. I agree. Because Lindor is the next guy that I can see, but he's still playing. So Jose Reyes
and Peter Alonso, I think those guys. But Jose Reyes should be next. Number 7 should be retired in Citi Field. But guys, we look forward to another episode next week. Guys, if you are going to be in Citi Field Tuesday, tomorrow, holla at your boy. I'll be there. I think I'm in section like 400. I don't know. You know me. We're still with the people, brother. We ain't big leaguing. We ain't gonna be trying to sit in and whatever. We're the regular folks. You know what I mean? Show some love. I'll be interviewing. If you see me, hey, I would love to interview you guys. So guys, it was a pleasure. It's fire. We're coming back next week to do what we do, and that's deliver the fire. Peace.
It's more than a podcast. It's a sports throne. Let's kick it off right. Welcome to the Ozone.